Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining today for the video on BI Basics. My name is Liz Carter and I'm excited to be rolling out this week-long worth of content all around BI Basics. So the point of this content is to help new users not feel intimidated with BI. I know when I was first starting out, it was really intimidating, and BI is a very complex system. So it can be hard to feel confident in BI, and it can also be hard to even just get started. I know in the UKG community, there's a lot of training resources, but they're long, right? They're big commitments. So the point of today and the point of this week is to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of BI and help you feel more confident just kind of going in there and exploring and starting a report. That being said, this is my first series on LinkedIn, so I won't judge you. If you don't judge me, it's going to be clunky, but we'll get through it together. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. Happy to help with any of your BI needs. So first of all, we're going to just go into BI. So as you are in UKG Pro, you're going to go to Administration and then Business Intelligence and then BI. Once you are in there, in the top left corner, you'll see the menu tab. So you're going to hover over the menu tab, hit New, and then hit Report. So if your view doesn't look like my view, it's likely a security issue. So check out your security roles or talk to your system admin to fix that. But once you have the right access, you should be able to see these drop downs here. So we're going to click on Report. The first option is to create the template. I always click blank. To be honest, I've never even explored these themes. I don't look at these themes. I just hit blank. So to do that, you can just either hit the create button in the top right corner, or you can just double click blank. From here, you're going to select a source. So 9 times out of 10, I always use the admin package. There's a lot of different packages that you can utilize, and there's actually a great resource in the UKG community that lists out the different fields and folders within each package. So I'll put that in the comments below. But for today, we're just going to use the admin package. So to select that, you're going to select a source. And then again, this is my view. Your view may look slightly different, but this is the standard UltiPro customer review. So if yours looks like mine, you're going to go to UltiPro BI content, UltiPro BI for core HR and payroll, and then UltiPro delivered packages. And the admin package is very easy to find. It's the first one on the top of the list. Like I said, there's a lot of different options here. But once you figure out what package you're going to use, again, today we're using admin, you're just going to double click on it and then hit open. Once that loads, in the left side, under business layer, you will see all the different folder options, right? So there's a lot of folders here. 9 times out of 10, I am using employee information. And then once you open employee information, you'll see a bunch more folders. So it can feel a little bit overwhelming and intimidating. Again, that's where that resource in the community really helps. But until you're familiar with the fields, I would always start with employee. I think that's a great place to start. And then underneath here, you can see all the different employee data items. Now, this is current employee information, not historical information. So just kind of keep that in mind. As you're working through BI, you're going to see field names multiple times. And it's just because that field is being pulled from different areas within Pro. So that can get a little tricky, but be patient with yourself. You'll get there. So now we're going to select the widget type. So the widget type is always going to be list for me. Well, not always, but most of the time. So that's what I would suggest starting with. And you're just going to click on list. And the name is going to default to list 1. I always just let it default. So I just hit OK. Okay, from here, to start building your report, all you have to do is start double clicking on fields. It's super simple. So for example, if I wanted to add company code, I'm just going to double click it. And you can see that it starts adding it to the report. When you're creating reports from an admin perspective, I always use codes. I think it's simpler, it's easier to use within filters, but however, depending on your audience, you may need to use descriptions if they're not familiar with the UltiPro codes, but today we're going to focus on mainly codes. And just so you know too, throughout this whole week, we're going to be building a demographic report. And then on Friday, I'm going to give you the XML for that report. So you can upload it into your own environment. I'll show you how to do that. And you can use it as a foundation for future reports. So tomorrow we're going to talk through filters and how to narrow down the scope of the report. But for today, we're just going to start adding fields. So some additional fields that I would recommend adding would be employee name, maybe employee number. Let's see. Org levels are usually important. So you've got org level 1 through 4 here. I also like status. So if you scroll down, there's a separate folder for this. So you're going to want to expand status information and then pull in status from there. Key dates is also important if you want to use like date of birth or last hire date. So again, I'm just double clicking on the fields and that's adding it into the query. The next thing I wanted to show you is how to change the label of a field. So for example, let's say org level 1 code doesn't really make sense for the purpose of the report. Maybe it's actually project or cost center. So in order to change that, you're going to hit these three. Well, first you're going to select the column header. Then you're going to hit these three dots and then edit data item label. From there, you would change the data item label. Let's just say your org level 1 is cost center. Hit OK, and that's going to change the name of the report. That just makes it more customized to you and your organization. The last thing I want to talk about is saving. There is nothing worse than spending hours on a report and then forgetting to save and then Pro locking you out and you losing all of your work. So make sure to save and save often. You can do that just by clicking the save button in the top left corner and then save as. One tip here, my content is your personal folder and your team and organization does not have access to this folder and neither does UKG. So if you end up leaving the company, all of your reports are disappeared. So while I would recommend this folder to be used for draft reports, I would always save like finalized copies within team content. That way your company and teammates have access to those reports as well. But for now, we're working on a draft. So we're just going to name this, say, demo draft. If I could type. And hit save. All right, so that's everything we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to talk about filters. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about expressions. So it's going to be a great week. Thanks for joining and hope you have a great day.